Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to go talk about some pretty random PlayStation 5 Pro perks that I kind of want to just go to a little bit of a deep dive and a little bit of a, in all honesty, nerdy ramble and rant on into. So I'm going to give you guys probably like the best information the first like 2 minutes. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of like bonus information the next 3 minutes and probably just kind of yap throughout the mix of it as per usual with YouTuber videos. But as you guys probably know, the PS5 Pro is going to be launching expectedly, hopefully, admittedly, very, very soon. We've had a good chance to look at a lot of different types of like leaks for it so far, internal specs, but I also want to give like some general, I guess, vibe checks for it too as well. So let's make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below in case you guys like to go and follow. And of course, as well, give me your thoughts and comments on all this down below. So it's going to be a really, really basic one, and it's kind of an obvious one, but I want to go bring a little bit of attention towards and kind of yap into and why I think it's kind of nice to go and see. So first and foremost, as you guys know, there's been a lot of big upgrades and changes for the PlayStation 5 Pro, and we're going to have better GPU, slightly better overclockable CPU, maybe an extra SSD, but one of the biggest things out here is that it's just an overall nicer console. So as you guys probably know, the PS5 does on occasion get pretty loud. And as well, does on occasion get a little hot. On top of that, the PS4 used to have a lot of memes, especially as like the console generation got older and older and older, like trying to go run like God of War Ragnarok or like Horizon on a PS4 was basically like going to an actual airport. Like it was crazy, crazy loud. And obviously when it comes to consoles, better specs, running nicer, running more efficient is still a big deal. Like we care about that a lot. But one of the nicer things is two things. The PS5 Pro, at least based on all the dev kits and all the early access to the consoles, are saying it won't ramp up your electricity bill, or it won't actually go get too loud, says all the inserts who had a chance to go check it out so far. The new PS5 Pro details suggest the console will stay cool and quiet and actually won't be a massive power draw. And I'm going to yap into this a little bit too as well, because it's kind of just fun to go and just talk about it, is that we've seen a few kind of casual updates when it comes to the consoles. Now, over time, consoles themselves do better. They'll have a chance to go and upgrade their internal specs, and I think the APU is going to be a big deal. Basically, the overall overarching processor making the console run better is something we usually like to look at, because it basically runs and makes the entire console run more efficiently. And obviously the PS5 has been like 4 years or so now, so we'd be expecting a lot more of a shrinkage when it comes to the internal parts. And that's why I think things get a little bit more fun, because we have had confirmations of PlayStation using a better nanometer when it comes to the internal chipset for the console itself. So which is always very nice to see. We've been seeing better GPU, CPU, as well as also memory and APU when it comes to the PS5 Pro. So all of that together in layman's terms means that the console will be running more efficiently. It'll be running better. And this is kind of a big deal because you even saw Xbox do like a really big marketing push and trying to focus on this, where for the Xbox, they wanted to go and have energy saving modes to their consoles. Now, some people, let's kind of a separate issue is where the yapping kind of starts. Like overall, the PS5 is running more efficiently, will be a better like overall console, but even due to the fact of the technology getting better over the next 3 or 4 years, we might see a little small updates like this. Well, I'll probably make quick videos on it too and kind of talk about it. But overall, the console itself is running more efficiently, so which means we'll be using less power, and on top of that too, we'll also be running better because it's running more efficient. Overall, I'd probably say that's a pretty big win. We like the idea of the PS5 Pro just being all around better. And obviously gaming with your console is not the biggest energy draw, but it can be. If you could play for 8 hours, you run things on 8K, like it does add up over time. And I think it's a big thing to go and note. But we'll kind of go to the Xbox for a second. This is kind of a big deal, because right now even Xbox is trying to go make a really big major push of brand new technology, utilizing things like AI, time scales, and sometimes even just running your consoles, say for updates at like 3 in the morning when most people are not utilizing as much power, AC, electricity, whatever, which in theory also gets you cheaper options from your company. As you guys probably know, for power, you're always kind of consistently competing with power. So if you have, like, say, middle of summer, a lot of people are running their AC. So it's going to cost a little bit extra because it's just going to overflow the grids. It's like a priority system. You got to make sure you're good. But if it's at 3 in the morning, a lot less people are awake. You may be asleep. You don't necessarily need AC. The overall temperatures outside are a little bit cooler. Like, I'm just trying to explain to you guys how the Earth normally works. So basically, Xbox themselves even want to add this for their own big carbon-aware update. Trying to go push it to the fact where they can basically have like new low power modes, as well as new options to customize the console itself and make it a little bit better overall. like basically have a chance to see this. It has like a chance for like, you have the shutdown energy saving mode, console shutdown, cuts power use by over 20x while off, supports remote features while the console's on. Sleep modes are basically just goes into sleep mode instead. And they have a chance to show that like the current power use while off goes from 0.5 megawatts to around 10 to 15. And you have a chance to go customize all this stuff. So why am I even bringing this up about Xbox? I'm talking about the PS5 Pro. I'm bringing the idea behind this up is that it's kind of cool that PlayStation is doing this just from a technological standpoint. I like the idea of Xbox doing this power saving mode. It basically is a smart idea. If you want to upgrade your console, you're going to probably upgrade your console. And it doesn't really matter when you do it. It could be one of those things over time that like, it doesn't matter. But if you go and have like, say, 5 million consoles on the United States, it adds up a lot. Like, it's really small, but it's still a nice quality update. Like, it's cool for Xbox to do that. But the cooler thing in my mind is that the PS5 Pro is doing it just from better optimization and better specs from their console, which is very nice. Saying the PS5 Pro should stay cooler and quieter in operation. It'll also be using a brand new 2-prong power connector. The console also may be expecting a 2 terabyte of SSD, which we're still not sure on that too as well. And kind of give you guys the actual news. According to the YouTuber Moore's Law is Dead, which first leaked the existence of Sony's PSP and PS5 Pro, will reportedly stay cool and quiet and shouldn't hike up your electricity bill thanks to efficient design. So overall, just saying the PS5 is so much more efficient than the current PS5 that even though the specs do seem to be better on the PS5 Pro, you have this way nicer, like 45% upgraded GPU, you have the better CPU with the overclock, better RAM, better memory, better everything. Ideally, due to having a way better APU, better efficient and newer cards, such as the CPU, GPU, and most likely the heatsink also being evolved enough, it will go and add a lot more extra vibes to it, which I think is very nice to see. And that is kind of like how we kind of saw the progression from the PS5. The PS5 console definitely had a big, I would say upgrade cycle, because they went from like the PS5 1.0 to 2.0 to 3.0 to 4.0 to 5.0, and then we went to the Slim. Technically like a 6.0. But every single time they would make their heat sinks better, like we saw a way less and less copper on the actual console itself, as well as also eventually make the APU better and make the chips themselves better too for all the die shots that we had a chance to see, just being more efficient. So just due to an overall better design, the PS5 eventually kept on getting better and better and better. But now with the PS5 Pro doing a massive rework, it shows it's going to be doing even more efficient and even more quieter too as well. So speaking on an episode of the Broken Silicon podcast, Moore's Law is Dead creator Tom said he's seen a PS5 Pro dev kit and shared some of the details as we've kind of covered up throughout this video. Tom said that the PS5 Pro dev kit has 2 terabytes of storage, which could always change. Dev kits can be adjusted. Mainly maybe just like just not as cost efficient, or they need the extra bit of storage for maybe running games and saving files and like optimization, which is sometimes the case. But it may carry over to the main version. But they also knows the big thing that we would talk about. The console uses the same 2-prong power connector as the standard PS5, which is basically the idea that like it's using a very, like there's like a limit to the power it can use. So just in the PS5 Pro will use less than 250 watts and should be a quiet and cool machine, according to Tom. Tom's co-host Dan also shared he's excited about Sony's new machine and glad that console will be also a relatively quiet machine, all things considered. So right now we're kind of still waiting to see like proper testing of it and showcase up proper videos and kind of find out the news and how it's going to work. But it really is cool because it seems like it's just going to be a very efficient, nice console that over time will be good. And as I mentioned, we saw even Xbox out here focus and prioritize this. Although Xbox is more on like software-wise and like AI-wise, and PlayStation probably still does have some PSSR and super sampling and DLSSR type technology to utilize the efficiency of the GPU and CPUs, it still is overall running a lot more efficient due to the fact of it just having better heat sinks, probably better airflow, having a way better APU, which in theory would help control the GPU, CPU to make it run a lot nicer. And I think at the end of the day, this is a win. Because obviously we want to have a better GPU, better CPU, better upgrades. But you also want to make sure it's running efficiently and it's actually an overall improvements. And it's not the biggest deal. Like energy costs would be probably under $20 a year, even if you're playing all the time. I mean, it could be wrong, but it should be overall low, because energy is usually kind of a low cost, especially for consoles. So I don't know, in my mind, I think it's a cool update. I kind of yapped. I kind of nerdy yapped this a little bit. My bad. Like, my apologies. But like, I think it was kind of fun to talk about. So hope you guys enjoyed me talking. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below. I appreciate you guys very much for watching. I'll talk to you guys all soon.